Hey everybody, it's Party Elite, welcoming you back to another episode of our Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play, where we're going to dive right back into Elite Zoo North and complete some of the things we started last session. Looking really forward to some of the plans I've got going, so we're going to dive right in, and as always, want to mention really quickly, folks, that if you've been enjoying this series and you would like to see it continue at the same rate of release on the channel, or even faster, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like and a comment down below. I say it all the time, and I know I sound like a broken record, but it does really make a very big difference, not only because it helps me make decisions. I look at the number of likes and comments just to gauge interest levels for my various series, to see what I should do, more or less of. And on top of that, I enjoy reading through all the comments. They gave me some, great insight. There's some great feedback in there. There's always good ideas, and it's always just fun to read through the comments and, read what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Personally, at least, I really enjoy it. So please don't hesitate to keep leaving those likes and comments, because it really does make a very big difference to how I approach things. Apart from that, so one piece of feedback that I've actually seen a fair bit, I'm going to try to get a lot better at this, is that I should try to finish something before I start something else. And I guess a big part of it is for me, it's like, well, do people really want to see me do a whole 2 hours of work on the polar bears and not do absolutely anything else for an entire session? I don't know. So let me know. Let me know down below. What we are, on that topic, going to try to do today, though, is we're definitely going to try and finish the polar bear exhibit. I've got some ideas that have developed between what I've read in the comments and some ideas I had over the last couple of nights as I was just kind of like mulling over this exhibit. I'm really excited to execute what I've got planned. And the thing is, with the latest update that came out, their land requirements have been reduced significantly. So I'm going to keep it relatively similar to what it is right now. I'm not going to shrink it too much, because I could shrink it a fair bit, but they're going to have offspring, and then we're going to have to deal with all that and stuff as well. So I'd rather just keep it at the kind of the size it is. I might change the shape a little bit, but yeah, I've got some very wild plans, I think. So we're going to try and finish this first things first. And on having done that, there's some management stuff I want to deal with, and then we're going to try and finish this as well, because I got some great suggestions as to how to cap off the roof and whatnot. So we're going to try and get all that done by, well, first of all, I just want to check one thing here. Just a couple of things I want to check, but we're going to have a time lapse basically right away. So we have power down here. Some of you were suggesting that there was no power for these staff rooms, but there is power here. We have the solar panel is working, though, as some of you rightfully pointed out, this doesn't make sense, so we do have to pull this back over here. Let's go ahead and get you back to over here-ish. You know what? That's going to be more work. I'm going to do that when I get back to my India time-lapse, which will be very soon. I just want to do some of this Arctic stuff first. So I'm going to leave that aside for now. What else was there? There was also the suggestion that we move this water filtration up over here, but what I think I might do instead is I might move this water filtration up over here to affect both of these. So not going to do that yet, because I'm going to revamp this entire polar bear exhibit. So let's first go ahead and get rid of our animals over here, because I don't want them to be in the way. So let's go ahead and send you back to the trade center, and let's send you back to the trade center as well. Sorry for that brief moment of exhilaration and freedom. We're going to hit play only momentarily, just while that's being taken care of, and it's time-lapse time. Let's do this. Let's get the, well, I hope to get the polar enclosure here completed today. All right, folks, today's time-lapse is a lesson in overdoing it, if nothing else, and you'll see why as the session goes on. So first things first, I wanted to completely revamp the shape of the water and the habitat itself. Now, I know I said I wanted to make the habitat smaller because they've reduced the size requirement of the polar bears, but the idea that I had, the idea that I wanted to execute required a larger area. And if you think this expansion that I've made right now is too much, just wait until the end of this time lapse. I might actually end up splitting this habitat into multiple smaller habitats so that I can get multiple sets of polar bears in here, but more on that later. For now, you can see I've flattened all the terrain. I've moved all of the all of the coolers out for now so they don't get lost in the terrain. And I'm making everything stone as well, just so that it's easier to read. I didn't like when it was just transforming into snow as I hovered over it. It made it very hard to read. And I'm beginning my initial sculpting over here. So again, I've seen a lot of suggestions in the comments that I've blended together with ideas that I had previously as well. What I wanted to create over here was a bunch of small like land pieces, make it feel like a bunch of small icebergs and like ice sheets basically, upon which the polar bears are, traveling. They're traveling between them with water in between it all, of course. So I thought that would be a really cool kind of a thing, and I thought it'd be neat to have the overhead view be a bit of a, symbol or visual as well. So I've got this little paw print basically from the top down view, and you can see again, I want to make sure that a lot of this does end up underwater. And many of you have been commenting in the past about it would be nice to have some more verticality in this zoo, have a little bit more height, like upwards height rather than just always digging down. So I thought, okay, this might be an opportunity to add a little bit of that kind of a height variation. It will require us to undo and redo some stuff that we did last time, which is, the barriers and stuff, but I think it's worth it. You got to go back and reiterate. Design is an iterative process. You go back and you upgrade things and change things as you go along. But yeah, pretty happy with how that looks from up on high. I think that's pretty dope, actually, if I'm completely honest. It looks pretty cool. But this was not enough for Party Elite. Party Elite had to do more for some reason. So you can see here, I'm like creating another layer, another step down, so to speak. Joking around with a bit of an idea in there. Get maybe something for the lion exhibit. But anyway, back on topic. I want the bears to swim around and then have a deeper area to swim a little bit, with a bit more depth, I suppose, if they so chose. And then before I got too far with our lake over there, with our swimming area over there, I wanted to build this connection over here. So many of you were suggesting it might be a neat idea to have an actual river network or a water source or something like that to make the water make sense in some areas. And some of you directly suggested maybe the river at Yanasi Plains should end up over here at the polar bear enclosure. So I thought, okay, well, why don't we take it through the reindeer enclosure and we take it right up to the polar bear enclosure as well. So the reindeer will be able to drink from it nice and close to the viewing platform. And on top of that, it kind of creates a story. Again, we've got it's fresh, glacier water, so to speak, that's being taken down to Yanasi Plains. Yeah, I mean, it was just something that I was toying with in my head as I was laying this out. Definitely think it's a cool idea. I think geographically, I think visually, it makes for an interesting conversation piece. It makes for an interesting visual element, I guess, is what I'm getting at. And you can see me kind of struggling with the water tool here, trying to get it perfect. Got to get a bridge over here as well to make sure people can actually cross, staff and guests alike, just adjusting the shape and stuff as well, smoothing it out. But obviously, that half is the reindeer enclosure, so I'll deal with that later, though I do have to seal the gap over there just so, as far as the game is concerned, polar bears can't go swimming through there, and I can fit things in nicely. And still, yeah, a fair bit of smoothing and stuff to do here and there, but I mean, we're nowhere near done yet. This time lapse was a long one. So here, yes, like I said, if you think this enclosure is already too big, just you wait and watch. I might actually shrink it. In hindsight, and let me know what y'all think in the comments, as always, I might actually shrink it from how big it ends up being, because my hope and my plan, and what I do execute today, is to have an underground viewing area as well. But like I said, I want it to feel like multiple, ice sheets, multiple platforms or walking areas with water in between. I mean, geez, the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking I'll split this up into two habitats, both for polar bears. And I'm curious to see what y'all think, but I do think that might be what I do. And you can see over here, building this underground walkway area. This hole over here was there as a reference for myself to where I wanted to place like a little igloo structure. I'd mentioned before I wanted to create a viewing platform that was like a little dome. I didn't want to give too much away when I was initially talking about it, but as many of you, I think, guessed or were suggesting yourself, yeah, I wanted it to be like a little igloo that you could, view from. However, it's just, I don't think it's working out really perfectly. I do my best to try and fit it, but you can see I undid the entire path there just because it wasn't feeling right. And I also wanted to make sure that the viewing angles from that underground swimming area was possible. So I use that as a reference, actually. So you can see me kind of carve those holes first so I can direct my path. Getting into more good habits, or trying to get into more good habits with Planet Zoo as a whole, especially with the paths and stuff. And I think that helped me make a much cleaner approach over here. And you can see I reposition where the igloo is going to be because I feel like, okay, that initial position wasn't really working all that well. So let's go ahead and undo that, and we'll rework it. And we'll get back to it later. For now, I wanted to put the glass barrier down to make sure that we can test the water out and make sure that it's actually working, and visually it looks nice as well. In a moment, I think we're going to go in and adjust the heights, but I do have to remove that one panel. For some reason, it's buggy and it's got a weird like visual glitch on it. I don't know if you caught that, but I do end up having to remove it. First things first, though, adjust the heights a little bit. Don't want them sticking out across the top there. And yeah, here's where I delete that, rebuild it, and for some reason that fixes the texture, and it's no longer weird and glitchy. Nonetheless, whatever, it's fine, it worked. Over here as well, got to get the barrier up because I want to make sure it can be viewed from, you can see bears on either side should they move to explore. And this is what's making me think even more and more that it should be 2 or maybe even 3 polar bear enclosures, just because we have multiple viewing angles and stuff. But with the reduced required area of the bears, they start spending a lot of time away from viewing areas, which makes guests, I think, less happy. I don't know. There's a lot of thinking to do over here. But, pretty happy with how it has come along overall. The overall shape of the area is interesting, I think. The overall story of the area as well is interesting. We've got these, like, platforms and whatnot, so happy with it overall. Just, what's the word I'm looking for? There's some in-game functionality that I should have considered a bit more. And we'll get more into that in a bit. But for now, putting down the barrier, because got to have a barrier, and I think it's got to be at least 4 meters tall. So you can see I put down the fencing, which is, yes, a high enough grade. I saw some of you ask. It is a high enough grade. And then I switched to nulls over here so that I can build the curved barriers and whatnot. We'll swap it out later. And here, again, I want to make sure that the polar bears are able to rest underneath our station, which I have some name suggestions for as well, but I'm yet to implement them. But I want them to be able to rest down there so that people can actually see them while they're having their food and whatnot. I think it'd make for an interesting viewing area. It's warmer inside as well, so I feel like people would like that. And you can see here, going in with the height adjustments, I'd gone a little bit too tall. I was intersecting with geometry, so I had to adjust height there a little bit and just convert everything into the fencing to make sure that animals are not able to escape. A loose polar bear is not a good idea. And here you can see putting the water down, of course. And I think now is when now is when I start experimenting with some of these building blocks, these building rocks, I suppose I should say, to try and get, again, that like ice sheet, iceberg kind of a feel and look to it. I wasn't 100% sure which ones the polar bears would actually be able to navigate, and which ones would cause issues. So I'm just kind of placing them down at random, trying to make them feel, disparate. I wanted to reflect, what's going on right now in the sense of we're seeing these glaciers shatter and whatnot, and I want it to look like what we see on TV and whatnot when we're watching documentaries and things. These massive ice sheets that the polar bears kind of climb on top of. Also building an iceberg over here. The underwater section of it doesn't really look all that smooth, so I might go in and rework that. And very soon you'll notice I realize, okay, I'm spending too much time in one spot. I should definitely go around a little bit. And I use these snow rocks to further accentuate the claws as well as some other spots, I believe, too. And you can see another little platform over here. I'm hoping that the bears can climb these sheets and it would result in a much better view for some of our patrons. For some of our guests, but we'll see if we can make that work. Pretty happy with how it's come along, though. Again, it's there's still some work to be done, but it's coming along based on how I envisioned it fairly well. Now here you can see I go back to the igloo finally, and I'm toying with the concrete barrier to make sure that we have a proper barrier that the polar bears can't break into or whatever, because that would be a problem. And we'd build the ice around it to actually build the igloo, and you can see, like, I just don't know. I didn't like the shapes. I didn't like the forms it was taking. I wasn't happy with most of it, so I just got rid of it. And we might do something else later, but I don't know how I feel about the igloo idea anymore. It just wasn't working as nicely as I wanted it to. And right now you can see I was moving some of the coolers around to make sure that we get the area cooled off nicely. And I am also adjusting our water treatment facility, just pulling it up from the from the plains to make sure both the plains and the Arctic area get access to it. And of course, also need to put a generator down. And I need to be, I'm going to have to make some adjustments to the track or something, because unfortunately, solar panels don't have as much range. So I need to put multiple solar panels down and give them mechanic access, like with a staff path. Or I could put one generator down, make some slight adjustments to our track, and everything will be fine. So I went with that, put a generator down, it'll reach everything. I added it to the North America work zone for now, or for the Americas North work zone for now, and we'll mess around with that later. We'll create an Arctic work zone once we get more animals into this area. Now you can see over here, I'm building an actual viewing glass pane kind of an area, just using some window elements to build it. It is transparent. Guests can see through it. At first I was a little nervous, but I can confirm they can see through it. So I'm very glad to have done this. I think it's an interesting way to see the animals. And again, part of that will be covered by facilities, by like vendors, I should say. But you can still view the animals from different angles. And you can see I get those donation boxes down over there as well. I'm testing these facilities if they'll fit nicely. And then it's time to put down the education boards as well. And while I can't assign them to polar bears just yet, you can see on the speakers as well, I temporarily will assign the bison exhibit so I can adjust the ranges, make sure we have everything covered, and then I just turn them back off. And we'll swap in the polar bears as soon as we can. But that's that for now. That's that for now. All right, I think that's enough of a time lapse. I feel like this is as close to complete as we can get it right now. Got to get the animals in here and then lay out all of their toys and bedding and things like that. Well, actually, I mean, what I could do is I could probably lay some of it out because we know some things that polar bears like already. For example, we know they like the bobbin enrichment or the block of ice or the block of frozen fruit. So let's go ahead. Sorry, my apologies. I'm just going to quickly drop some of these things in. I would really like to see them move around to play with a bunch of stuff. That would be ideal for me. Like, I would love this to be one of the resting areas and this to be another resting area. But apart from that, I would like to see them moving around a lot and just kind of interacting with all of these little terrain pieces. I don't know if they'll actually climb this. We can try it out. I'd love to see them do that. So let's go ahead and try that out. And let's go ahead and try... well, let's get them... I don't want to use too many toys right away, you know? That large snowball is barely large. Let's go ahead and put the snowball down over here. Right, so people from up on high can see them play. And I'm sure we can do some bedding as well. Let's take a look at all. Yeah, let's go ahead and get some large bedding down over here. Should have done that earlier. My apologies. My apologies. The terrain and all, we're going to go ahead and do... Like the terrain painting, I mean. We'll do once we get the bears actually in here. And hopefully it'll work out nicely. I imagine they'll like most of what we've got for them. Oh, you know what I just realized? First of all, this is not what I wanted. Loading bedding. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I realized that I haven't made this all into snow. The reason why I changed it in the first place was because it was very impossible. It was almost impossible to tell exactly how things were sculpting. So I just changed it to stone. Now, granted, we'll be keeping it cold, but we also want it to be snowy, right? We want it to be snowy. We want it to feel like, you know, a massive kind of glacial situation over here. So let's go ahead and get the snow nicely spread out. And the polar bears are not going to mind more snow. And I do like... so many of you were suggesting... I may have mentioned this in the time-lapse, and I apologize if I did, but many of you were mentioning, like, oh, what if this is, like, where the water comes from? That's great. It's like it's all glacial water in the zoo or something. I like it. I love it. Like is a soft word for how I actually feel. There we go. So that should all snow up and cool off. And we'll be able to see how that looks. Hopefully the polar bears will like that. And another reason for stopping the time-lapse over here is just financially. 19K is not a lot of money. I want to get some facilities down here. They cost 2K a pop, plus vendor fees and things like that. So I want to try and get some... Whoa, Jesus. Ow. Sorry. I want to try and get some donations happening. I want to see how popular this area becomes. Because we already have people coming through the train. By the way... like hands down, the most popular suggestion for the name of this station, Station 40, was Polar Express. So it's the Polar Express. So each station will have its own name, and I need to get names in for the India station as well as the Tapir Tavern station. But today we're focusing over here, so it's the Polar Express, and I've got some great name suggestions for these, like the plaza as well as the enclosure itself as well. So I'll be getting some of those involved, and I also want to get one of these bad boys up there. Let's go ahead and get you. Sorry, just occurred to me that I wanted to get one of these up over here. So let's go ahead and plant you down. Because again, these are navigational tools. These are wayfinding tools. So they make sense to, to put them around for various signifiers, for various, like it could be, I believe one thing is it often signifies a dangerous area. It sometimes signifies hunting grounds. So they're a very meaningful and versatile symbol. And I think it looks beautiful. I'm a fan of the forms of it. I think I'd like to give it a better resting ground though. Maybe somewhere up over here. I'm still hoping to do the little igloo thing. It just wasn't working out with that initial attempt, unfortunately, but I am still hoping to do it. So yeah, we're blocked off over here. Let's go ahead and put you over here, because we'll get the igloo maybe over here and then have this right next to it. We'll see. We'll see how I feel about the igloo in the first place, because in terms of actually building it, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Let me put it that way. We will see. And I also realized I forgot to put some donation bins down in this tunnel area where hopefully people will come through and have a wonderful time. So let's go ahead and put one over here. And let's put one diagonally across from it over here, right at the dead end there. We'll see. We'll fancy up that end point. So don't worry about that feeling incomplete. I mean, I know I said I want to try and complete it all before moving forward, but it's just, stuff's expensive. Stuff's expensive. We'll put an education board down over here. We'll put another education board down over here. Hopefully they'll end up on that side as well. And we'll get some speakers down there as well. I want to keep zooming back and forth. Go ahead and get speaker. Whoops. I love the kissing sound it makes when you click on the speaker. Let's get the speaker up over here, perhaps. There's so much to do in the zoo still. There's so much to do still. There's like... There we go. That should be good. Lighting I want to do. I want to complete so many little things. There's a lot to do and very little time. Anyway, so this should hopefully get people giving some donations, exploring the polar bears. Hopefully they'll have a good time. I know I said I was going to make the habitat smaller, but I guess I couldn't hold myself to that because I was having too much fun. But let's go ahead and get the animals in here. Go ahead and get the animals in here. I got to get rid of all these guys as well. But for now, get you in there to what's currently called Habitat 12. Keep those name suggestions coming, by the way. I still haven't picked one just yet. I've seen some great ones. I've come close to picking, but, more suggestions are always welcome until, of course, we actually do pick. So with that done, I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, with the peafowl, let's go ahead and try to trade them at just like 50 apiece. I accept that I may be overcharging for peafowl. They're so easy to get. So 50, I think, is a fair number. Come on, button. Click. Just click for me. Not 8,000. Trade you as well. They're just so common. And I need to do a whole pass over my animals as well, just to make sure that I am... There we go. That I am able to maintain decorum. Let's put it that way. Maintain decorum. Okay, and a 50 for you as well. Come on. There we go. Polar bears I'm not giving away just yet. And the tortoises, I mean, let me see if I can't trade them for a couple hundred. Or a few hundred. Let's go with 300 for you. And I might even... I'm tempted to quick trade some for money, but that's short-term thinking. That's short-term thinking. Let's try trading you for 300 as well. All right, I'm done with this menu. I'm done with this menu for now. Last trade. There we go. Last trade. Can't deal with this right now. It's tiring building a whole habitat and then dealing with a button that just doesn't want to click. Let's go ahead and hit play and see how... oh, a little bit of a lag spike here. I guess the game has to recalculate this entire new space and kind of goes like, what are we doing with this? How are we navigating this? So it's just going to take a second to build that, I guess, pathing and all. But while that's happening, I'm curious to see how the polar bears engage with this area. We have to still put down a feeding space, which we'll do over here as well, because the keeper should be able to walk there. Wow, it's taking its sweet time. But yeah, there we go. But I do hope they're able to navigate and stuff, and I do hope that they bring in some good money. They should. They're a pretty, I mean, they're a high appeal animal. They're a rare animal. Food tray large, please. And I think I've got some good viewing areas for them. Not, no, I guess because these guys are a little too closely packed. Let's go ahead and get rid of you. And can I put you down here? There we go. So it should be neat to watch them eat and stuff from up over here. The glass is not very clean, but I think people are able to see through it. I hope so. That's the intent, at least. If not, we'll swap it out for some other glass, but let's see. Our first people... Are you moving? Where's our... First of all, make you like $3. I could probably charge people more. Don't block station. Come on now. There we go. Got a lot of people waiting to come over here and hopefully give us some good money. These are our first visitors to the this polar area. You guys about to step out? Oh, are they not even... They don't even want to come here. Wow. Well, I guess there are no animals here right now. Oh, look at that. It's bobbing in the water. All right. Done all this. Money's going up already, so that's good. I could probably charge more for these trains, actually, now that I think about it. Probably charge a little bit more. They're costing us a lot of money. I don't know if I need that many cars. Like, there's so many things you can adjust with these, right? If I could just find all of the settings. If I could just find all the settings. This is specific to the station. This is specific to the train. There we go. Number of cars. Turn you off. Let's go to 2 cars. No, let's go to 3 cars. Max speed can stay high. And let's go ahead and open y'all up. Oh, interesting. There's like a grand opening explosion thing going on. I would not have expected that. And I believe I should be able to take the ticket prices up to 5. Let's try it. Oops. That's so weird. Oh, if you close it and open it, it renames? That's weird. Because this is, I'm pretty sure, Polar Express. How are we doing here? Oh, people just arrived. Or, how did you get... What did you... Okay. I mean, hey, you do you. Can I not select you? This game sometimes. Okay. There we go. Polar Express is you. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure. Alright. Good. People don't mind paying that fee. Good stuff. $5 is okay. Where are our polar bears? Where are our polar bears? Oh, they're there. They're there. Now, gotta make sure that we're getting snow coverage properly as well. Inspector has arrived. Terrible time for the inspector to arrive. We're like not ready for this. So not ready for this. Drop you down over there. Let's see. Down over here. The operating costs of these are going to be through the roof. But that's what it takes. That's what it takes. All right, let's go ahead and see how they feel about this area. I hate that it's so gloomy right now. I always like it to be sunny when we're setting things up. So I'm pretty happy with the terrain overall. That's good. They have more than enough space, especially since I increased it. I will be doing more stuff with like rocks and icebergs and stuff as well. So don't worry too much about that just yet. And overall, I mean, genetic makeup, that's not in my control per se. Oh yeah, there we go. No swimming. Slow swim. Food will be coming over here. They've got something to play with as well. I really hope they're able to explore everything that I've laid down. Not quite. Not quite. So some of these they cannot get onto. It seems that they can't get onto the little floaty things. I mean, I could try to adjust you down a little bit, see if they're able to get onto you then. I wouldn't be surprised if the game just doesn't see that as navigable terrain. Oh no, there we go. Okay. Well, except now it's just underwater. Do that. Then what happens? Kind of. Alright. More offspring being expected. Oops. VIP guests. There's so much going on. That's the thing. Pressing play on this game is a daunting thing. Alright, well, we know that in theory this will work. In theory this will work. Been in box for too long. We'll go ahead and unbox all animals over here. Not sure why you got box. Power source is failing. Let's call a mechanic over here, please. We need some more bins, apparently. Come on, guys. They're right there. They're right there. Okay, there we go. Mechanic was ready to come in, so that's good. Get you over here. We've got some VIP guests. Hello and hello and hello. Now I want to mention as well really quickly, I've seen the pleas to move the tortoise exhibit, the tortoise exhibit, sorry. That will be happening very soon. Don't worry. Definitely top of mind. I'll probably be doing that sometime over the course of this coming week. Oh my god, look at this. This plaza is ridiculously active right now. Wow. We're at 18K, or 18K, we're at 1,800 guests. I'm guessing the arrival of the polar bears has got people excited. Worst view of a grizzly bear I've ever had. Well, that's because you're not patient enough. Things take time. They were waiting too long. They were waiting too long. And Tapir Tavern needs a lot of work as well. There's lots to do still. What's the deal over here? These guys, I mean, Eagle Eye has worked out wonderfully for us, I think. Eagle Eye has worked out wonderfully. Okay, this is a full train. It should get moving. I guess there's not enough to see here yet. Obviously, we have to do the reindeer, and we have to get the facilities up over here as well. Habitat. What's the problem with the habitat? Temperature. -20, I believe, is their desired temperature. Yeah. Just because you're going through an area that's not cooled. That's why. Go and do that. I will want to adjust some of these as well. Maybe when they stop swimming, I'll adjust some of these to make sure they're a little bit more accessible. Because again, I want them to be able to climb on as many of them as possible. Oops, sorry. I want to check this. So these three can't be climbed. The fingers, the claws rather, can't be climbed, and some of these like finger pads can't be climbed either. All right. I believe if I suddenly remove the water, they'll just get boxed up and moved away, which is not what I want. What have we got over here? We've got more breeding going on. Excellent. Now, there was some management stuff that I wanted to do. For one, I wanted to adjust my zoo opening times. I'm still not going to be open too late into the night because I think we can do probably 7. We haven't done the lighting just yet, and that is another thing I want to tackle soon. 7 until 7. Let's do that. We're a 12-hour zoo. Do that. Hopefully that'll help us out a little bit. So that was one thing I wanted to do. One other thing that was asked to be checked on is power down over here. I believe I did that at the beginning, I think. So we are powered down over here. I've got all these animals in the trade center. I should check real quick. And hopefully, they've only been up for like 10 minutes. Hopefully they'll go soon. Abigail, I need to, this is just so much going on. What about over here? Go ahead and quick trade you. And I also need to check on, I'm getting frazzled, I think you could tell. I also need to check on these animals over here because there were a couple of errors I made over here. So apparently this path was not connected. No, it looks like we're connected over here, so we're fine over here. We've got you all named and everything over here. You need to be named. Again, thanks for pointing these things out in the comments. I often miss little things that that many of you catch, and it really helps me because, again, I get a little bit of tunnel vision sometimes. Oh, who's the mom here? Is there no mom here? All right. Put you in the trade center. We need a Brazilian wandering spider. Must have died recently. Let's go ahead and get a Brazilian wandering spider. We need a female Brazilian wandering spider. Sure. 320 is not that bad. Got you in here. And Letitia, you are gonna be the mommy. All right. Okay. More mechanic research is being completed. So another thing that's been recommended or suggested a lot is that I start maybe firing some of our mechanics and stuff. I don't know if I want to fire them or... Uh-oh. Is that a polar bear? That is a polar bear. I forgot to... No. That's not a polar bear. You do not want to go in that direction, buddy. You do not want to go in that direction. We want to get this blocked off. I forgot to do that at the end of my time lapse. Go ahead and get... well, not that one. Let's go ahead and get this one. I want to... well, no. That's not the right shape. There we go. It's all gray and snowy, so it's hard to read as well right now. There we go. Okay, want to make sure that it's like it'll let the water through, but it won't let any animals through. Is the hope here? There we go. There we go. Hopefully, someone's actually coming to pick Zaire up. I know he's in kind of an awkward position, but I imagine a keeper might be able to get there and pick him up. Wow, people are actually choosing to walk all the way up to here. I mean, hey, more power to them. It's freezing though. That's why I've got the trains. Oh yeah, and people are waiting. People are waiting. Okay, good. Well, actually, let me see their opinion over here. If they have rain, I've been to worse places. Oh, come on. Some people are just negative. Some people are just negative, you know? Oh, and actually, the topic of negatives. Gotta make sure that these things are actually educating folks. So we're actually getting some donations. There we go, all the polar bear education going on. Done. Done, and where's the speaker over here? You can put it in the corner, yeah. There we go. It's a pretty cool, I mean, view. I'd be impressed, I think, by this. Seeing polar bears swimming around from this height. And then if I so wanted, like these folks seem to be doing, I'd go underground and get a more intimate view. You get down in here. I should probably get some heating down over here. Fix up that barrier as well. Hopefully they start coming through here. Maybe I've given them way too much space. What I might need to do is I'll do that. Let's do it this way. Split this large exhibit up into multiple smaller exhibits, and oh no, I can't pull it because of the path. I'll adjust that later in a time lapse or something. But yeah, I might want to split this up into multiple smaller exhibits so that the polar bears are more easily viewed from all the angles. Just gonna tuck in over here. Oh. Okay, you're both up over here. If I was up here and I could see from this corner those bears sleeping, yeah, that'd be pretty exciting. Oh yeah, look, hey, and they're doing exactly that. And yes, good. They love it. Wonderful. Wonderful. The queue was quick. Didn't come here to see staff facilities. Which facilities? You're able to see that? Oh, I didn't go over this. Okay, fair enough. I might need to make some adjustments to the track down there and up over here as well. Because otherwise these people are going to be upset about seeing this. I mean, it's just so much better. The generators have such better reach. So much better reach. Let's go ahead and get this heating. You know what? You came to the Arctic region. You're gonna get a little chilly. You're gonna get a little chilly. Wonder if I should put one down over here. I am planning on putting facilities down over here, which is why the donation bins are up over there, because over here you'll be doing your shopping. Over here you'll be doing some shopping as well. This is a whole different time-lapse of its own, though, I think it'll have to be. So let's see, we've checked our exhibits. The other thing I wanted to do, and this is a bit of a... oh, seemed very angry about my click there. So this is something that I've been meaning to do for a while, and the longer I wait, the more difficult it's going to become. But I should really take a moment to consider my breeding pairs. Got Winter as the mum here. Who's the dad? Who is the alpha dad? Eremias? Are you... I assume so. We don't have anybody else. Yeah, so Eremias is the father. We have so many animals here, and I'm definitely glad I left the room for this growth. So let's see if we've got... Alright. Over to here. Our American bison. Let's make sure you are all on... Oops, no, not you. Make sure you are all on contraceptives. A lot of female bison. Well, actually, I don't need the adults on contraceptives. Okay. Yes, I think we're okay here. Because then Eremias will still be partying with Charlotte, Tinbull, Winter, Embe, and Ava, and Embry. And eventually we'll swap Eremias and all the males out for a new male. I might need a little refresh over here. Like, just swap 90% of the animals out. Because it's becoming a little overwhelming, I'm not going to lie. Becoming a little overwhelming. Udele is the mother, who's the father? Well, definitely not Lucas. Emerson is also young, yep. Yo man, right. I don't know why I did not label it. That's adorable, seeing him carry that. Okay, let's make it the dad. And he just drops it. Does not give a damn. Alright. Okay. What are the bears doing? They're just kind of chilling down over here. Yep. Seems to be the case. I have added this to a work zone already. It just temporarily, it is the North America, like the America's North work zone. I'll change that up to be its own work zone once we have some more animals over here. Ooh, polar bears are about to mate. Whoa. Alright, there we go. It's so cute. It's so cute when they cuddle up. The size difference is ridiculous. I'm still not over the size difference, actually. I mean, right down over here in view, it's like, it's a show. It's a show. Come on, guys. It's our most popular exhibit, and yet people aren't dropping donations. These people, these animals, they need saving. They need saving. On which note, I should actually get some of these up. Want one up over here. One up over there. These things are so expensive. Well, they're 30 bucks actually. They're not that expensive. Climate change. Over here as well. Climate change. Oh, Udele is about to die of old age. Repair the ozone layer. You know what? That works too. Udele has died of old age. Oh man. Sad to see. 12 years old. Another name to add for the list of animals in our memorial. Let's go ahead and get the vet over here. Aitana is about to mature, so it's going to be another removal we have to do. All right, let's go ahead and, I mean, let's see. If I look at the animal market and I see the price of tortoises. Where are we? Galapagos G. And again, just as a reminder, don't worry, I will be moving them from this exhibit, from this enclosure. I just need to take a moment to do a bunch of other stuff first. So, okay, like the thousands, I don't think those are very realistic. I mean, these are gold tier. Okay, 50. I mean, what a range. 50 to 1,000. 6,500. Gotta be a perfect tortoise. Not even. These aren't even perfect tortoises. Let's try 500 maybe a piece for the good ones, and then 200 for the not so good ones. We've got decent animals, right? Got decent ones. Oh, okay, like you're not very good. So let's go ahead and trade you out for, let's say 100. Yes. Trade you out. It's almost like the button got worse. Let's try 100 there. Over here, let's try 50. Anything I can get, really, right? Anything I can get. I mean, he's marked at 50, so maybe he should be 100. All these tortoises maturing. Okay, now Adelita is a very high-ranking one, so let's go ahead and trade you for 500. Because otherwise they're just sitting there. They're not making me anything. So if I don't provide competitive pricing, then I'm just wasting time. Okay, you're already on the market. So you're all already on the market. I might just quick trade these peafowl. I mean, you're a really good specimen. Like, that's got to be worth more than 30, right? Let's go ahead and do 100 here. Okay, done. Now, we have a lot of new tortoises that have matured. A lot of mature tortoises, and they're not going to like that either. So, what we could do is we could take a look at these animals and see who is perhaps best as far as genetics are concerned, and they will be our next alpha, like, male and female. That's definitely the wiser way to do it. I mean, Abril is still very high quality. 75, 41, 83, 100. Alright, let's see. Okay, you're not as good, so... To the... Trade center you go. You are the dad, so let's see. 50, 58, 8300. Size is a little bit bigger on Alejandro, but otherwise... The trade center. I believe that's all the new adults. That is all the new adults. Okay, cool. Just good to do that right away, if possible. Now, our inspection, the latest one, I've missed it. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Oh, 4 stars. Education, Tortuga Galapagos. It's fine. It's temporary. Anytime they're going to investigate Tortuga Galapagos, we're going to take a little knock. But that's not going to be for much longer. Now, we're still at 18. Oh my god, the money. That's not good. That's not good at all. Ride running costs are barely a part of the problem. The staff wages. Maybe I do need to fire some people. Maybe I just have too many people. Like, low workload at America's East. It's weird that yellow is low workload, but red is high workload. It's kind of a... I don't know. Like, trying to do both. And I haven't even reset my staff perks, have I? Yeah. Alright, let's see. The money is really low. That's terrifyingly low. Low on cash warning comes up as I say that. Thank you, game. Thank you very much. Don't want to fire anyone. I don't have to. Alright, you know what? Liz, you're low ranking. High workload. We're going to go ahead and fire you. That was America's... Damn. No, I've forgotten already. America's East, I think it was. Go ahead and trade you out. You're well trained. We're going to have to take a loan. Oh my god, we're going to have to take a loan. Oh my god. 237. That's ridiculous. We have $237, folks. We're going to have to take a loan. Low workload on the security guards. Like, maybe I don't need them. Maybe I can do with fewer security guards who are without a work zone, so they're kind of roaming free. Let's try that. Every little bit counts right now. Vendors, low workload across the board over here, so that's not good. And yet you have high workload, and you're a higher ranking... And you're both in America South. Vendors are pretty cheap. Vets. Do we need this many vets as well? Low workload in America's West. Like if I get rid of you... No, she's so high ranking. That would be foolish. Let's put you in America's North. Let's put you in India entrance. And we're going to get rid of the person who's currently at India entrance. Okay. That'll help us a little bit. But we might have to take a loan. We might have to take a loan. Because given our current financial situation, we will not be able to afford anything. Oh, we hit the negatives. Oh, we hit the negatives again. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Animal food is super expensive, but we can't make that any lower. Or we can... Alright, let's see. Low on cash, without a vendor for a long time. That's fine. Mechanic research is completed. Great. More food shops that I can't afford. Go and pause for a second. Vet cannot reach habitat. That's a new one. Vet cannot reach habitat, possibly due to work zone setup. Okay, let's see. Staff, work zones, America's north, south, east. West. Yeah, you're in there. Oh, is it because we don't have a vet? No, but you also use... America's West also uses all this. So you should have... That's a very strange issue to pop up. And these guys we've already said hello to. Alright, what I need urgently is a lot of baby spiders or something. I believe we did get a bunch, didn't we? I believe we did get a bunch earlier that I haven't sold yet. That'll help bounce me back out of my current financial situation. Checking for more babies first real quick. We did have you. What about over here? Alright. Good, good, good. That'll at least get us out of our current financial situation. Exhibit trading. Animal storage. I believe this works now. Yes. Excellent. Done. We're in the green. Only barely. Why are people not donating? You're donating. You're kind of donating over here. Over here, we're kind of getting donations. Got a lot of adults. And again, feeding all of these animals gets expensive. And I'm guessing that's what's causing issues, is feeding all these animals. Look at that lineup, though. Right? Like, that's got to be worth something. Each of those is $5. The ride operating costs are barely costing us. Like, that's not a problem. And these donation bins are just not being used at all. Come on, donate. Save these animals that you seem to care for and love. Okay, that train's on its way. Do we have another one coming over? We might need 3 trains. I mean, it's good to see the movement still low on cash. This is not enough money to make it worth chasing after. Oh, hey, the pier is getting more action as well now. Cool. Oh, we've crossed a threshold, I think, in terms of visitors, numbers. I might need to put a donation bin up there. People are clearly not noticing these ones on their way out or anything. You guys are very patient. Brought an umbrella. You can't see anything from here. Come on. Get over here. Look at this beautiful view. This beautiful view. I need more. I mean, operating costs on the... Let me check here. I am very much freaking out about the money right now. Power costs, 4,000. I wonder what they were before. Last year was 5,000. 2 years ago was 3,500. It's been fluctuating. Don't think that's been a big, big thing over here. Staff wages. Hopefully, I mean, that's a whole 10K jump. Hopefully this helps the firing. Ticket refunds. Unhappy with visit. That's a problem, obviously. Getting that more and more. All right, fair enough. Now these are filling up. I'm wondering if I should make the train longer again. How slowly do you unload? Pretty slowly. Okay, fair enough. How many of these people can actually get on over here? About to have another offspring with the tapirs. Fair enough. Okay, you all leave. I just want to see how many people get on. Like how much of the line is affected. I can do a head count over here real quick. Also, very happy to hear how many of you enjoyed the sculpture and the story behind it. I was hoping people would like that, but I definitely enjoyed coming up with it and building this little thing. I need to try and remember to put it into the blueprints so anybody else who wants to use it can use it. Wow, that is barely anything. That's barely anything. And the other one is still a long way away, eh? I could add some more trains to this, can't I? I think you have to turn, like, stop the ride to add more trains. Alright, well. And everyone just got booted. It's open again. It's open again. You know what I should do? Close it. There we go. That should hopefully help. Hopefully these guys are just going to turn back around and give me another $5 a piece. Looks like it. Beautiful. Beautiful, because I need that money. Desperately. Wow, I didn't think I'd be in this situation again. The polar bears... Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're making their moves. They're making their moves. Good to see them, you know, navigating the train. Where's the other one? Chilling down over here, taking a nap. God, so adorable. They are so adorable. Aren't you expecting a little baby? I know they mated, but I don't know if they're with child yet. Doesn't say so. What's the deal here? Still no donations. That's so weird. Nothing. People aren't even coming out to the balcony area. I'm wondering if I take a loan. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I take a loan to build some facilities over here, food and whatnot. And that would allow me to, come on, get people on here. Gotta be a minimum load, right? I also said don't block the rides, though. Like, don't block the station. So we'll see how it handles this situation. As people slowly amble out. Come on, move quicker. There's nighttime and morning. Oh, wow, yeah, that train's just gonna move through. Alright. No, good to know. Station. It's called Station 59. I guess the name gets lost every time you close it and reopen it. Ticket price can maybe go up a little bit. Maybe. Minimum departure interval. Okay, we need to turn that off. These people are just not able to get on. They're just not able to get on. So 10 over there. Down over here as well. There we go. Looks like these trains have become very popular, so I can milk that a little bit. Looks like we've made some animal trades as well, so that's good too. Still have a bunch of you stored, but at least some have gone. I might just quick trade the PFL. I don't know if for money or release into the wild, but I might just quick trade them for money. So I'm just kind of trying to mull over what I need to do here. Embe is about to die of old age. All right, people are coming through. Oh, wow, negative 1900. Negative 2000. This is not good. Kind of like just walking through the walls over there. Huh. Another one has died. That's Embe. Embe has passed away now. For those keeping track. Man, this has been a sad episode. This has been a sad episode. I mean, we opened the polar area, which is great, but we've also lost a lot, including financial stability. This is a problem. All right, I need to figure this out. I could take a big loan. Where are we? Finances. I've got my marketing going still. Right, I've spent 100K on this. I wonder how much profit it's actually got me. Oh my god, negative 29K. Let's see, so if I were to fire some more people, that would maybe help. Marketing is like about 5,000 a year. That would definitely help. Animal food skyrocketed. Animal food skyrocketed, and I'm wondering if it is just polar bear food. Is that expensive? Because I didn't increase the grade of any food. Power costs increased just a little bit, but no, the animal food costs is definitely the biggest part of it, I think. And it might just be because we have so many. Like our bison herd is so big that they probably eat extremely quickly. And then that needs to be refilled. Like we got 6 animals in here. And we got 3 in here. Okay, but then plus adults or plus children are over here as well. We have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 12 plus 5, 17 animals. Maybe that's a big part of the problem. Maybe I actually need to empty this exhibit out a little bit. This enclosure needs to be emptied out a little bit. But oh wow, I did not think. I did not think we'd be in this situation again this soon. A 50k loan would allow me to... I mean, 50k is not a lot of money. We came... In 2 episodes, in 2 sessions, we went from 50k to where we are right now. 50k is not a lot of money. 5k is nothing. It costs 2k to put down a new vendor, right? 20k is good in the middle. Should be able to pay that back pretty quickly, I think. We get 20k, got a couple of facilities over here. People are buying more food. They're spending more money. Like, let's see, how much money does one of these make us? 2,000 bucks. 3,000 bucks, okay. This one's not really all that much. What about the ones that are a little off the beaten path? The ones that are a little bit further away? 1,904. Sorry, what was the problem here? No vendor. Okay, it's fine. And what about down this underground area? Because this used to be a big moneymaker. It's less crowded now? No, we still have people in here. Let's see, 981, 3,000. In a year, right? In a year. So like within a year, most of these would pay for themselves, is what I'm seeing over here. So if I get a 20k loan, and I put down a couple of food spots, a couple of drinking spots, and if people start donating, that would be great. Still zero, still nothing. That's wild to me. Is that not ridiculous? I gotta get some bins up here as well, but we don't have the money for that. Anyway, it is on this rather somber note. I think I'm going to call it a session, folks. This is crazy. Damn, I did not think it would get this bad. I may have overdone it with the polar bears there. May have overextended myself, and I'm going to be paying the price for it. Literally, it feels like we can do some quick things to bounce back from it. Now, again, I know many of you have said, it's like, oh, just finish one thing and then move on to another. And I absolutely understand that, and I absolutely agree. I do not disagree. However, it might be a good idea for me to take a step away from this, put down some quick exhibits, like increase the size of our cavern over here, add some more exhibits down over here, make some quick cash that way, trade out some more offspring as they come from those new exhibits. So maybe finally get those iguanas and stuff that many of you have been asking for. Oh, God. We need to get another Brazilian wandering spider as well. Well, let's go ahead and do that right now before I forget. Fernando, I don't have the money. I cannot afford anything. I cannot afford anything. My, oh my. Folks, it is on this down note. We're going to be calling it a session, because I think we've gone well past that hour mark, and I want to make sure, just because of how long things have been taking to render and edit and stuff as well, I want to make sure I can actually release this episode tonight. I want to stay on schedule, of course, and there's nothing I can do in like 5 or 10 minutes that's going to solve our situation. Next session is maybe going to be a little bit on the management side of things. We need to, we need to fix the situation. I'm a little worried. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little worried. Might reduce the zoo hours. Let me know your suggestions in the comments down below, because I will take all the ideas I can get. As always, if you enjoyed the session, make sure you let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. A massive thanks goes out to all of my channel members and patrons who support this channel on a monthly basis. You keep us alive and running smoothly, unlike the zoo right now, so I greatly appreciate that. And of course, a big ol' thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.